The emergency alert system played a message just for me. You are awake when the tone hits. A long, sharp scream from every speaker in your apartment. Your TV flashes to life on its own. Your phone vibrates across the table. Even the old clock radio. On your kitchen counter, the one you never plugged in, right, fins power from nowhere and wails. Then the words appear. Emergency alert system, this is a civil danger. Warning, this message is for you. Your name is printed in white letters on a red bar. Not your street, not your county, your name. You whisper, how? The tone repeats. The room looks smaller. Do not look outside. Do not open your door. Cover all mirrors. Wait until 3 o'clock. Your phone buzzes again. Another alert, the same words. But now the voice starts clear, calm, and wrong. It sounds like the voice they use in safety training videos. Friendly, clean, empty. Attention, the voice says. This is not a test. You are to remain inside. You are to follow the instructions exactly. This message is for you only. You stand there with your breath stuck in your chest. Outside, rain taps the window in a fast, nervous rhythm. The hallway. Light under your door turns from gold to a thin grey glow, like the building itself is holding its breath. You grab a towel and throw it over the mirror by the door. You pull a sheet over the bathroom mirror and the black TV screen, because in this moment the TV looks like a dark mirror too. You find tape and secure the edges. Your hands shake. The tape peels and sticks to your fingers instead of the wood. The voice continues. At approximately 2:13, an event began. The event has created visual and auditory mimics. They may appear as family, friends, neighbors, or yourself. If you hear a knock, count the knocks. If you hear 3 and then a pause, do not answer. They cannot make 4. Thunder travels the city's spine. The building hums. You ask, why me? The voice answers like it heard you. This message is for you because you are at risk at your current location. You will receive direct guidance. Do you understand? You nod before you realize it cannot see you. Your phone buzzes a 3rd time. The same alert shows on the lock screen, but at the bottom there is something new. Personal verification. Say your name. Your mouth is dry. You say your name. The phone listens, little dots moving on the screen. The apartment smells like dust and wet concrete. Your own heartbeat feels like a knock inside your ribs. Thank you, the voice says through the TV. Do not look outside. You realize you are standing in front of the window. You close your eyes and step back. You pull the curtains shut and pin them with a clothespin. The rain softens. The world becomes a large, heavy room without edges. Your neighbor bangs on the shed wall. He's an older man with a soft cough and loud shoes. You've heard him many times, but this knock is new. It is careful, polite. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Exactly like the voice said. Hey, he calls through the wall. His voice sounds muffled, like he's speaking from the end of a long metal tube. You see the alert. You got tape. We should go downstairs. The stairwell is safer. Your phone lights again. Do not go into stairwells. Do not trust advice from unverified persons. Hear your name. Do not reply. The neighbor tries your name anyway, lightly, like a test. He makes it sound warm, like a friend. You press both hands against the wall, as if your palms could feel the truth through paint. Attention, the voice says. If you hear your name, cover your ears. You grab 2 wads of tissue and plug your ears. You slide down the wall until you sit on the floor, knees up, breath thin. The towels over the mirrors flutter, as if a small wind blows inside the room. Your phone buzzes again. A new instruction. Tune a radio to 162.400 MHz or 162.550 MHz. If you do not have a radio, use the phone's emergency audio you don't own. A radio except the clock radio, which is too old for weather bands. Your phone shows a grayscale interface with a triangle play button. Your finger shakes as you tap it. The emergency audio begins with static, then a series of beeps you have never heard in your life, bright and precise. The voice returns, but now it feels closer, like it sat down on the floor across from you. Very good, it says. Remain still. You are doing well. You will soon hear imitations. Do not engage. When asked for a phrase, repeat exactly. I am not your mirror. Something knocks against the window. Not the glass, something on the other side of the curtain taps the frame as if it is counting with you. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1-2-3- pause. A smile crawls onto your face without your permission because fear can look like laughter. You push your knuckles into your teeth until it hurts and the smile goes away. Your phone vibrates so hard it almost jumps. Personal question number 1. Who taught you your first lullaby? You do not remember. You remember a tune without words from a woman's throat, a scent of soap from hands that turned pages, and a window that showed only leaves. You type, Mom. The phone waits, then shows, accepted. The neighbor returns to the wall. I think I left my stove on, he says. Can you smell gas? His voice is softer now, closer. You smell only the wet dust and the glue of old paint on the TV. The voice says, do not acknowledge the sound. It will not escalate if you do not respond. The knocking stops. You think of the time, but your clock reads 12 o'clock like a dead eye because you pulled the plug months ago. The microwave blinks. The oven glows. Nothing else shows time, and you realize the voice chose that on purpose. It does not want you to count minutes. It wants you to count instructions. Another alert. If you have salt, make a small line between you and the door. You do have salt. You pour a trembling white stripe across the threshold. Crystals bounce and roll like tiny bones. You laugh once, a short wrong sound, and clap your hand over your mouth. You step backward and your heel brushes the towel on the mirror. The towel slides and a corner of dark glass shows your cheek and the white of your eye. Your reflection blinks, at a different time than you. You choke on a sound that wants to become a scream. You slam the towel back over the mirror and press all your weight against it until your arms ache. Do not look, the voice says calmer than calm. Good. You are adapting. A new knock. Not the wall, the door. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, pause. A broken pattern. You hold your breath until little stars pop in your vision. Please, a girl's voice says from the hall. Your name drips through the door like water through a crack. My phone is dead. My mum, she sent me here. She said you would help. Your mother died years ago. She never sent anyone to your door. She never could have. But the voice is small and shaking and perfect, and some lonely part of you rises up inside your chest and reaches for the lock. Your phone flips to a white screen. Personal verification number 2. Finish this phrase, I am. Underscore, your throat works. The words are simple but heavy. You say them out loud with the tissues still in your ears, because saying them makes them feel true. I am not your mirror. The voice on the phone repeats after you, exactly the same. Pitch. A little green checkmark appears. The knock stops. Silence swells through the room. Long, round, complete. It fills your lungs and then presses on them. Then every light in the apartment turns off at once. You do not move. You hear your heart. You hear the rain. You hear something like cloth sliding on wood from the other side of the door, slow and patient, as if someone sits down with their back against it and sighs. The phone glows in your hands like a small, expensive ghost. The emergency audio cuts to static, then returns with that calm voice. Good, very good. We will now begin calibration. Step 1. Kneel by the door, but do not touch it. Step 2. Place your left hand on the floor. Step 3. When you hear your name spoken from the drain, do not respond. The drain, you whisper. In the kitchen, water gurgles, once in the sink. The pipe knocks. Then, very softly, as if spoken from a long way down, your name floats up through old metal. You bite your cheek until you taste iron and do not answer. Excellent, the voice says. Step 4. The window will call you by your childhood nickname. Do not respond. Step 5. The mirror will tremble. Do not look. The curtain rustles. You hear the nickname no one living uses for you, not even in jokes, because it belongs to a time before you learned how to be quiet. It sounds like a friend, calling from the street on a summer night. It sounds like everything you miss. You do not answer. The towel over the mirror shakes. The tape pulls away with a slow peel. You stare at the floor and imagine the shape it wants you to see. You focus on your hand, on the salt at the door, on the way the crystals catch the small light. You whisper the phrase again so your mouth has a job to do. I am not your mirror. The voice speaks after a long pause. They are unhappy. That is expected. You are doing well now. We approach the end. At 3 o'clock the signal will reset. It is 2:59. Do not move. Do not speak. Do not look. You realize you have been holding your body like a statue. Your knees throb. Your shoulders burn. The voice continues, almost kind. The last attempt will be personal. Stay with me. You hear footsteps in the hall, slow, familiar, a rhythm you know from a road trip, a supermarket aisle, a hospital corridor. Your father's steps, heavy and careful. He has been gone longer than your mother, but the sound is perfect. It stops on the other side of your door. Kiddo, his voice says. Not kiddo. He called you something else. You know it, but right now the word is mud in your mouth. You in there. It's okay. You can open up for me. You press your forehead to your knees and shake your head hard enough to make yourself dizzy. A pause, then for knocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clean. Confident. Exact. Your phone jumps in your hands like it has been shocked. Attention. Do not interpret knocks. They learned. This is your last instruction. At tone. Say the full phrase 3 times. Do not stop, even if the voice at the door speaks over you. A single clear beep slices the air. You speak. I am not your mirror. I am not your mirror. I am not your mirror. Your father's voice finishes with you. Same time, same breath, like he is using your mouth. Open the door. I brought your old quilt. The one with the blue triangles. You were cold that night, remember? You pushed the words out like you were pushing a car up a hill. Mirror. The voice says nothing for a beat so long it feels like it could break your head. Then the phone whispers, 3 o'clock, good job. Every device in your apartment turns off. The air changes back to what it was before. The lights blink and return. The microwave clock gives you a time that makes sense again. The towel lies still. The curtains hang quiet. Your door is silent. You count to 60 before you lift your face. The TV shows a final message on a white screen, plain black letters, like a receipt. All clear for you. Do not open the door for 6 minutes. If something is still there after 6 minutes, it is part of the building. Do not attempt removal. Thank you for your cooperation. Your throat is sore. Your body shakes with the idea of sleep, but sleep is a country you cannot reach yet. You sit on the floor and breathe in and out until the 6 minutes pass. You listen. You smell only dust. You hear only rain. You stand. You undo the chain. You open the door to inches. The hall is empty. You open it wider. You look down. A small folded quilt sits by the frame. Blue triangles, the exact shade you remember. It smells like your father's car after the long drive to your grandmother's house, plastic and sun. And cherries dot. There is salt on the floor where the line spilled under the door. It stops right before the quilt, like something careful set the blanket down and did not cross. Because it could not. Your phone lights one more time, soft as a sigh. Final note, you did well. If you receive another personal message, repeat the phrase, do not tell anyone you were addressed by name. The imitators listen. Sleep near the center of your home for 3 nights. Wake if you hear 3 knocks and a pause, or 4. If someone inside your home uses your voice when you are not speaking, leave immediately. The screen goes dark. You stand in the doorway with your hand on the frame and the softened city sounds coming back in gentle waves. Somewhere an ambulance passes like a long breath. Somewhere a dog shakes rain from its fur. You pick up the quilt. It is warm. You fold it and set it on the couch. You leave the towels over the mirrors until morning. You make tea because that is something people do when they run out of choices. You wrap your hands around the hot mug and wait for your heart to match the slow steam that rises from the cup at sunrise. You look out from behind the curtains. The street is wet and clean. A single set of footprints leads to your building's door. They do not lead away. You go to work late. You do not tell anyone about the message made only for you. You nod when people complain about the weird alerts. You say, scared me too. You say, what a storm. You say, nothing else. That night, you set your phone on the table and lie on the sofa with the quilt over your chest and the phrase under your tongue. The city breathes. The building creaks. You fall asleep watching the towel on the mirror. In your dream, a radio voice sits across from you on the floor and says softly, good job, over and over, like a lullaby. You wake at 2:13 to silence and stay very still. You listen for knocks. You think about how the voice knew your name and your lullaby and your quilt. You think about the footprints that came but did not go. You think about the rule, do not tell anyone. You think about how warnings can also be invitations. You think about how a message for you is still a message from something else. When the room stays quiet, you breathe again and close your eyes. But just before you sleep, the clock radio unplugged, dead. A thing of plastic and dust gives one tiny, bright tone, not the long scream. Just a single, clean note, like a doorbell inside the walls. Then, in the voice that sounds like safety training and hospital waiting rooms and friendly lies, it says, very soft, good night, kiddo.